So if for some reason you're still trying to run your Shopify store organically, then you'll also soon find out that your sales will stop growing no matter how much you start posting. You can do, I don't know, influencer collaborations, you can do TikTok videos, or you can even offer big discounts, which I see all the time. But deep down, you know it's not enough because organic reach doesn't scale forever. One viral video can bring you perhaps a good week, but ads can actually build you a good business. And that's why most store owners, eventually they turn to paid ads. It feels like the next logical step. It's faster growth, more reach, full control, and yeah, it's true. When done right, ads can completely change your revenue. But here's the catch. When you first turn them on, they rarely work how you expect. At first, it feels like your ads are broken and your ROAS will literally tank. Your CPC will look insanely high, you get clicks but barely any purchases, and it's frustrating because you know your product works because you have seen it sell before. So you start wondering, is it my creative? Is it my pixel? Did Meta just stop working for me? Well, my young Padawan, nothing is broken here. You just are stepping into a new kind of playing field here. One where the buyers don't know you yet. See, organic customers kind of already trust you a little. They have watched your product videos, they read some reviews, maybe even followed your brand for months before even buying. So when they, click that add to cart button and they buy, it kind of feels effortless, but it isn't. Because on the back end, a lot of things had to happen before they got there. Now, paid traffic doesn't give you that luxury. You're talking to complete strangers here who have zero context about who you are. They don't know your brand, why your product even matters, and that's why most store owners, they struggle when they switch from organic to paid. So you're not suddenly bad at marketing, you just haven't built your systems to handle cold attention yet. The goal also with ads is not to make ads work overnight. The goal is kind of to rebuild the same buying journey that worked organically for you, but now with much more scale, predictability, and data behind it. So before you go after complete strangers, I like to say start where you already have leverage, which is your warm audience. So if we have a funnel here, this is the middle of the funnel. These are the people you target to. These are the people who have interacted with you before. They have seen your site, maybe even added something to their cart, maybe watched your videos, maybe subscribed even to your emails, and they already know your name. And that makes them cheaper to reach and 10 times easier to convert. So warm audience here, this is your testing ground. And use this to fix messaging, test your offers, dial in your tracking, and get your creative process right. You're not scaling here yet. You're building your foundation for what's to come later on this side. And the rule I always tell e-commerce owners, it's simple. Don't fix what's already working organically. So if you have been closing sales through, product videos, use those in the same videos in your ads. And if your, let's say, best performing content is influencers unboxing your stuff, amplify those with paid ads. If your email flows bring constant orders, then feed those emails with subscribers, more traffic and subscribers, and then let them do their work. Now, paid ads aren't a reset button here, as you know. So they are an amplifier. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever made your Shopify store work organically, you just do that more and you scale that. Now, once you've found out what works in your MOFU warm audience, meaning your messaging hits, your tracking is clean, and your creatives are actually getting clicks that also turn into sales, then you can start moving into cold audiences, which is top of the funnel. And you have to remember here that cold buyers don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't care about your brand story. You are a complete stranger asking for their money. And that's the mindset difference that kills most of the campaigns that I see. But then again, this is e-commerce, right? So cold traffic doesn't necessarily mean, they need to be educated for months to buy. That's one of the biggest myths out there as well. Most e-commerce products actually, if you're selling a product under the $100, which is low ticket, can convert cold on the first impression if you nail the offer and the creative accordingly. Offer and the creative. Because what happens, people buy emotionally and they justify logically, and that's it. Your ad's job isn't to teach people, it's to make someone stop scrolling instantly and get them in front of your product and show them what the product does and feel like they need it right now. That's what you need to create with your content. Now, if you're selling skincare, don't start with, for example, why your formula is revolutionary or something. Start with the results first, like this serum or whatever product cleared 3 years of acne in 10 days. That's a good hook. And here's how. Like, for example, let's say this serum cleared 3 years of acne in 10 days, here's how. And then you start a video. Now, if you're selling, let's say, a fitness product, don't talk about the materials, right? Show them the transformation, the lifestyle, the emotion behind it. And that's really what wins cold audiences. Now, yes, if you sell higher ticket items, right? These are products which are usually 200 plus, or even more, could be 2000 plus, like luxury jewelry, tech, or anything above, like I said, 200 to up to whatever, 10,000. Then you might need a bit more nurturing here. But that doesn't also necessarily mean very long funnels either. It just means layering your trust signals. So think of strong UGC content, social proof, testimonials, and remarketing that hits these people with reasons to come back to your store and make a purchase. Now, with that said, the first touch point should always be conversion focused, meaning it's your best creative, your best offer, your strongest social proof, all in one ad. Then your remarketing does the heavy lifting afterwards. You show reviews, unboxing, lifestyle type of content, maybe quick story-based videos that rebuilds the attention or creates more trustability. Now, most brands here, I have to say, they complicate this part. So remember, cold converts if the creative is strong. Warm converts if the nurturing system is strong. And profitability or profitable scaling happens when you have both in place. So that means your tofu and your mofu and your bofu are dialed in here. Because once someone starts scrolling past your ad, you literally have 2 seconds to prove you're worth their time. So not with a lecture, but with clarity. So clear products, clear problem solutions involving it, clear reason to click now. That's the kind of the difference between running ads that build, let's say, awareness versus ads that build a sustainable money printing business with ads. So what most e-commerce owners here also fail to understand is that the journey doesn't end when someone clicks on your ad. That's actually when the whole journey kind of begins. You get the click, and this is literally where the journey begins, and you have to guide them through the customer journey. And most Shopify owners lose money not because their ads are bad, but because they stop the conversions way too early. Someone clicks, they add to cart, maybe even starts checking out, and then silence. There is literally nothing going on afterwards. There's no follow-up emails, no sequences, no text reminders, and no trust building through your MoFu content. What we'd like to implement for our clients are what we call here propaganda campaigns. So think of these as automated storytelling that keeps your brand in the customer's head until they actually are ready to buy. So when someone lands on your site, adds something to their cart, or even just watches your product videos, you want them to start seeing more of you literally everywhere. Not some random ads, but smart retargeting that speaks to where they are literally dropped off in the funnel. So if they viewed your site but didn't add to cart, show them your best UGC video. Someone that's using your product and reacting naturally to it. And if they added to their cart but didn't buy, hit them with some social proof, some reviews, unboxing, or quick videos about why people love your product. And if they bought once, then also run post-purchase campaigns that upsell complementary products, for example, or you build more loyalty with the brand by storytelling. And that's how you stretch every click into multiple opportunities to get the most out of your conversion rates and your AOVs, average order values. Now, I always tell my clients that your post-purchase content is just as important as your sales ads. If not, maybe even more important, especially if you're selling high-ticket items or items that can be repurchased over and over again. When someone buys from you, that's your moment to literally double down on those. You have you've already got their attention and they're still emotionally connected to your product. So use that time to improve that customer journey. Send your follow-up emails that show them how to get the most out of their product once they purchased. Share videos from other customers using it, offer small upgrades or bundles, ask for maybe UGC content or reviews, because that could literally become your next winning ad. So the more touch points you create after the first sale, the more data you can collect and the more content you can get. And also the cheaper your future conversions will become. And this drastically increases your customer lifetime value as well. So in short here, cold ads get you new customers, and warm ads get you maximum profitability. Your post-purchase campaigns can turn customers into repeat buyers, and that's the full flywheel of e-commerce growth in a nutshell. And once you see that, you stop panicking about ROAS every day, because you know the system pays off over multiple touch points, not just one click or 1 week of running ads. Now, since you are moving from, let's say, this organic phase to the paid ads, let's also talk about budget. Because this is where beginning store owners literally start losing their mind. They start running ads with no clear plan. They throw a few, euros or dollars a day behind the product. And they panic literally after a week when ROAS drop. They turn everything off and they call it, well, it's not working. They say this is a flawed. That's not really testing. That's literally gambling without any rules. Now, if you are, let's say, serious about making ads a real growth channel, then you have to also think like a detective and not a emotional slot machine player. You need a defined test budget and a clear window time of data to get your decisions or your conclusions right. Now, I always tell also my clients, I don't care about your favorite video. I'm personally not emotionally attached to your business. So if you have a video that looks like, that took you, let's say, 4 days to create, or a video that you shot in 3 minutes, well, I value them equally when I test them. So when I launch new campaigns, I always plan for a testing phase. That means I know upfront exactly how much I'm willing to spend before expecting consistency or to turn things off. Now, if you're just starting out, that might be a budget of 2,000 to 5,000, let's say, euros or dollars, depending on your niche and margins, of course. The goal isn't to make profit yet, like I said. It's to buy the data that helps you see what is working, let's say which ad, which audience, which creative, which offer, and then you can make decisions. And once you know that, literally scaling becomes more like a math with zero emotions. And for this, you need to have an analytical mindset to go into this. See your testing budget as like a tuition fee that you have to pay. You're paying to learn your numbers and understand your business. Your scaling budget is your investment here. You're putting money into what's already proven organically into ads. Now, the problem, if you treat both like the same thing, you'll never scale, because you always keep stopping right before the algorithm figures things out or you have enough data. Now, let's also, since we're here about ads, let's also talk about tracking, because this part either makes or breaks your clarity when you have to make decisions. And when you go from organic to paid, suddenly you have a complete new set of data to consider. Think of CTR, CPC, CPM, ROAS, POAS, AOV, MER, and so on. And time again, I see store owners focus on the wrong one here. So stop obsessing over individual ad ROAS. It's like literally judging a whole football team by just one player. Instead, look at your MER, which is your marketing efficiency ratio, which is what is your total revenue divided by your total ad spend. Now, if your MER is healthy and profitable, your business is also healthy as well and is scalable. At the end of the day, your ROAS are nice, of course, but POAS, which is profit on ad spend, is what matters, because you cannot take ROAS to the bank, only your POAS. And once you're profitable, you can start looking or zooming into your funnel metrics further. Hook rate, are people stopping to watch? Your hold rate, are they staying until the call to action point? Your click-through rate, your CTR, are they curious enough to check your site out? Let's say add to cart rate, are they finding your offer convincing enough? And of course, your checkout and your purchase rate, is your site actually closing the deal? Now, what I'm trying to say is you don't fix everything at once. You find literally the weakest link and improve that further. Let's say people click, but they don't buy. why? Well, it might be your website or your pricing. And if nobody clicks, then it's your ad creative or your targeting perhaps. And if they watch but they don't click, well, your hook is just not strong enough. And that's how real performance marketing works here. You solve one bottleneck at a time as you go. And before you scale, always like model out your worst case scenarios as well. Like always know your break-even ROAS, know your average order value, know your product margins, because this gives you confidence, because you know exactly how far you can push without panicking or making emotional decisions. And if you don't know these numbers, then you can download my profitability calculator sheet where you can put in your numbers and create different ROAS scenarios. I'll put a link in the description. Make sure you fill in before you run any ads yourself. Because scaling ads is a game of chess, not some kind of roulette. Every move you do should have a logic behind it. So when people say, for example, ads are risky to me, I always tell them they're only risky if you don't understand your numbers. And everyone is like searching for that perfect ad formula as well nowadays, but there isn't one. There's literally none. I've been doing this for 7 years. There is no winning ad formula. There is only testing, learning, and building a system that lets you make smarter decisions every week as you go. And the truth is, ads don't fail. People usually just stop too early. They quit before the data gets clear enough to make decisions. However, if you stick with it, if you learn how to test, how to track, and how to actually read what your numbers are telling you, then you also stop guessing and then you can start scaling. Because the brands that will win in 2025 and beyond aren't the ones posting the most here. They are the ones who can buy attention more profitably. They know their numbers, they know their customers, they know their margins, and they know how to turn, let's say, $1 into $3 every single day. Now, if you watch this video so far, you clearly care about getting this right. And depending on where you are, there are literally 2 ways I can help you. If you want to actually learn how to run ads yourself and even maybe build your own remote ad agency, I've built a coaching program where I train you step by step to become a media buyer. You'll learn how to get clients, run ads profitably, and build ads business, run ads profitably and build an ads business around it. There's a link below where you can apply and get all the details. And if you already have a business and you're looking for experts to come in and help you scale with ads, then there's also a link below to book a strategy call with my agency. We'll look at your current setup, we spot the opportunities and map out the growth plan for you. Whichever path fits you best, there are links below down. Anyway, thank you for watching.